All right, emergency reload drill. So this is where the magazine is empty. We get a slide lock to the rear. Sometimes what happens with guys with big mitts that may have their master hand thumb riding the slide stop lever, the gun may go into full battery, which means the slide is forward even though it's on an empty magazine. Should that happen, and if that happens to you, yes, there's a couple things you can rectify with the grip to ensure that that's not going to happen. But should that happen, under a little bit of stress and duress, we may not be aware of exactly what's going on with the gun. So if we attempt to shoot and the gun goes click instead of bang, first order of business would be to tap the bottom of the magazine and rack the action. For this drill, I've set it up in a manner so I know what's going to happen with the gun. When the slide locks to the rear, we're going to slow it down and we're going to talk about the ergonomics of what the hand should be doing in terms of getting the gun back up and running again with relatively quick time. All right, so buzzer sounds. Firm to the gun. We're going to break the shot. Slide lock to the rear. As we dump the magazine, because me personally, I've got small hands, I've got to break my grip. So the grip is broken just a little bit so I can manipulate the magazine release button with the master hand thumb. Once that's happened, magazine is no longer onto the gun. Now the support hand is fishing for the emergency magazine that you've got positioned on your kit somewhere, and we're looking over top of the gun. As we look over top of the gun, we're going to reload the gun. As we glance, what we want to think about glancing at is not the magazine, but we want to glance at the magazine well. Glance at to where you want the the magazine to go on the gun. So as we look, now I'm glanced back up on top of the target. That's what needs our attention. We're going to position the support hand in a pinching manner to unlock the slide, as opposed to an overhand grip, which then ergonomically takes more time to then reorient the thumb forward and present the gun. And then we would release the shot, follow through. Did it hit? Did it work? If it didn't, we'd follow through and hit it again. All right. So from this position, I'll go through it one more time. Emergency reload, slide lock to the rear. So what you just saw there was what's referred to as a slam feed. So sometimes when we're pretty aggressive with loading the magazine back onto the gun, so this what can sometimes happen. So slide lock to the rear, dump that magazine, and when we're aggressive, the slide will sometimes move into the full battery position. Based on my experience with confidence, you're going to find a round has been picked up and it's in the chamber. So this gun would be ready to go. I wouldn't bother tapping the bottom magazine and racking it with the thought that maybe it didn't chamber around. I'd pull the trigger first, and if the gun went click instead of bang, then I would tap rack. So the way I look at that, and the reason why, is I wouldn't add an added movement into the whole process until we get the desired effect. So I don't want to guess to what the situation might be. I want to respond to the gun. So training myself to respond to the gun and not guessing what I think happened. All right, so that's the way I look at it. All right, so one more time. I'll go a little bit slower so you can see what I'm doing with my hand.